Okay, what I'm doing here is this window. I'm using Polycrylic, which is a water-based pure polyurethane. It's very new on the market. It's only been out a couple of years. And if you see here, I'm using clear semi-gloss. I'm going to do this tiny little window. I'm using a natural brush, meaning it's actually real hair. I'm just quickly cutting it in. This one's not caked, but it just takes a second to do one of these. I mean, less than a minute to do a window. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be able to preserve this window ledge for another 20, 30 years without turning it darker. A lot of the stuff you buy today actually yellows it. You don't want to buy stuff that's yellowing. And that's how quick and easy that was. I mean, make sure there's no drips by doing the last long runs on everything after it's applied. Do a long run, and it looks very professional. I'm also working on the floor in here. There's two ways to do a floor. This one, I'm brushing the whole floor because I want to get a lot of stuff down on it to fill in the cracks. If you note here, this stuff is white. In the can here, if it was pure clear, you actually wouldn't be able to see the product. And basically, this is the first coat in here. If you take a look here, you see I already have a coat in this room. I'm going to do that next. And, excuse me. There's this. Nothing to it. I'm using a 3-inch brush. This stuff dries in 1 hour to the touch. I wouldn't be walking on it for a couple hours. You see right away how deep and rich that is. If you see here, we put in a new cord around, and I'm not too worried about it touching the white paint because I'm planning to repaint the white paint. So basically, I'm just trimming out the room by hand, and then I'm going to roll it. I'm coming out a couple inches just to make it simpler for my roller. If you notice around this heat vent here, I have it taped off because I don't want to add anything more to my heat vent. And if you see any white and you leave that, it really doesn't hurt. It actually is. It's great penetration. Okay, that's that. I'm going to go grab the roller and bring it in here and show you how to roll this stuff. Actually, I can just roll it here. I forgot that this is all trimmed out. Now, watch when I put the roller. Okay, we've got the room trimmed out all the way around. 6 inches out. Very, very liberal. Now there's two ways, of course, to put your roller in the bucket. One is to submerge it, which I don't like to do. You get too much moisture up here and here. And the other one is just to dab it a little bit and keep it rolling. I like to have a lot of product on there when I'm doing a floor. And I also like to do the whole room in the stretch. So this is very easy. I don't know if you see those K-lips there, but I'm eliminating those. You see that K-lip there along the vent? I just lightly touch it and it's gone. And then I have my roller extended pretty far out so I can reach the whole room. And once you get going, this room shouldn't take 10 minutes to do the whole room. And that squeaking is my shoes because I already have one layer on here. This is the second coat. And what you're doing is you're trying to apply a lot of product. You don't want to try to make it as thin as you can. The more product you get on there, the longer the floor is going to wear for you, that is. We're hoping that nobody has to do this floor again in 25 years. And like I said, this is the second coat that I'm putting on here. Between the first coat and the second coat, I hit it with 120 grit sandpaper, which takes longer, of course, than to do the room here with a small handheld palm sander. Originally, you probably saw, we did this with a belt sander. But watch what I'm doing. See in front of there how I'm pushing the liquid. And the first stroke, I'm pushing the liquid both ways across the room. And then now I'm going to come back and feather it out. And it's nothing to this. Of course, I've done this a few times, but anybody can do this. But watch again, I'm going to put way too much product on there, and when I set it down, I've got a huge amount of product. I'm pushing it, and now I'm going to pull it back to this half of the room. Everybody has their own techniques, but the object here is to try to use as much product as you can without having the huge K-ups. This is exactly like painting a wall, but much easier than painting a wall. And the white product, you can see it a little bit. If your roller is real dry, you're not going to see the changing in the color a little bit. When this dries, it won't be this color at all. I'm already at the halfway point in the room. Or a little bit beyond that. I like to show you how I work my way out of the room. A lot of people don't know how to do that. It's important, of course, to have a professional bucket instead of that little flat tray that most of you guys are using nowadays. That's cheaper. This is a $12 bucket, and it pays to have the right tools. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I never use the roller head twice. I throw it away at the end of the day. Before I prep this floor, just a few minutes ago, I vacuumed the floor, so my roller is not picking up a bunch of stuff. Now I'm going to show you how you walk your way out of the room. You've got a couple, 3 feet here. And what you're going to do is you're going to divide it off. Instead of going the whole length of the room, you're just going to divide off and do 3 separate walkouts, or 2 depending on your room. Now you see I'm bringing the product back to me, like this. That's one dip. And here's 2 dips. Nothing to it. Just like I say, I'm pushing it on there like really heavy. And I'm just going to walk it back, walk the product back. Generally, I'd give it another dip, but I happen to know I have enough on my roller to finish this room. If you notice, we don't have the fan going. We don't want any little items that are going to leave us speckles on the floor. That's going to be a gorgeous floor when it dries. Thank you very much.